I did my spring 2022 internship at TNC Plumbing located in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. TNC Plumbing specializes in plumbing products, repairs, water heaters, and water filtration systems. TNC Plumbing's biggest strengths are their focus on their customers and their mindset that everyone is a family member and to treat each individual, both employed and clientele side, that way. My biggest strength within the company was my ability to catch on quickly, as well as utilize previously learned knowledge, both from education-based courses as well as former job experience, to be able to adequately perform well in my role. However, my biggest weakness at this job was being able to catch on to the terminology and lingo used in the plumber world. Coming from somebody who has no experience in plumbing, it was very educational to get to learn all about the different sides of plumbing, what goes into plumbing, and just how the whole plumbing industry works as an entirety. My biggest challenge during the internship was definitely staffing. Everybody in this day and age is facing staffing issues, and for TNC, that's been a huge problem. Oftentimes, workers will call out at last minute's notice with a full day's work on their schedule, and so I was responsible for kind of looking at the schedule, reorganizing everything, and then if it wasn't able to be rescheduled for that same day on a different provider, I had to call the customer and let them know that we wouldn't be able to service them and reschedule them for a time that was convenient for them. Prior to the internship, I wish I would have acquired, again, plumbing knowledge. I kind of went out of my comfort zone with this just because it was one of my best friend's companies, and she was like, you should definitely do your internship here. That way, when you're hanging out with us, you understand what we're talking about. Their work life and their family life intermingle almost to a fault. So I feel very confident now that when we're hanging out outside of my internship, I'll be able to understand all of the issues that they're facing at the company and maybe even be able to provide a little bit of additional expertise since I have a business degree, or I will next week. Neither one of them are college graduates. They're both technical degree program holders. And so it's really nice to be able to give them a different mindset. Whereas before they were having to consult professional services like marketing and, utilizing different, again, like I said, professional services to be able to meet their needs. And I was able to actually step in and kind of give a little bit of guidance as to where they could go. But I wish I would have had more knowledge of what was going on before, and I actually may have been able to help them prior to my internship had I had more knowledge. As far as classroom knowledge goes, it's just kind of courtesy and professionalism that I've learned, and how to communicate with others. I was responsible for being the liaison between the providers and the clients and what needed to happen when they were put on a service call. So I think just utilizing the basics that I got in my communications courses and understanding how a human brain works when it comes to, you've got a problem and you need a fix and, budgets come into play. I think just all of that experience that I've learned from my time at Columbia State was very beneficial. I also learned all of these skills in previous jobs. Again, they weren't in that industry, so I had to kind of take a step back and just be like, okay, this is something new. And I was really able to kind of flourish in that role as a liaison and really help customers understand that we're on their side. We're not there to rip them off, because when you call a plumbing company, I guess a lot of people have the idea that you're just going to charge this exorbitant amount of money. And in fact, TNC Plumbing is almost to a fault really good about working with people with budgets and pricing. And they're actually having to struggle because they're having to get better about that, because like I said, they treat everybody as if they're their family members. So for them, if you can't afford it, or, if you have an issue and they can't get to you right then, they're going to try to find a solution that allows them to be able to service you, because in their head, if we service you this one time, maybe at a discounted rate, in the future, you're going to call us again and we'll be able, when you're financially stable, we'll be able to charge full price. Of course, that doesn't always work because some people think that they can barter, but that's kind of their mindset. And like I said, they're a newer company, so it's kind of like going through that, but I was really happy with how they kind of treated that, and I was able to use my own knowledge in that way. How can you or other interns utilize this experience when re-entering the classroom or workplace? Like I said, it's completely out of my realm of what I originally went to school for. I'm a cosmetologist, currently working at Chase Bank, so plumbing has absolutely nothing to do with what my intentions are. So right now, I don't really have any plans to use any of the knowledge that I gained from the internship. Again, it was just basic knowledge of being using communications, bookkeeping, which I learned from accounting, things of that nature, and being able to be tech savvy, which as a younger person in this generation, I was able to catch on to quickly. So I don't really think anything I learned new I'll be able to reuse. However, if they, that company gets big enough and they're able to pay me the wages that I currently make, who knows? I may go work for them. I think that'd be really fun to get to work next to my best friend. So who knows? And what characteristics would the ideal intern possess to excel at this internship? I think definitely a kind of blue collar mindset person, of understanding that there's going to be some long days and that you're not always just going to get out of there. I mean, office hours are 8 to 4 technically, but there were definitely some days that, as you can see on my timesheets, that Alicia and I worked till 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, just really understanding that it's a never-ending process when you're starting a business. And I think it was really cool to get to work for kind of a startup, because it gave me a whole new mindset. I've only ever worked for established companies, except for when I owned my own. And even then, I was a cosmetologist. I wasn't running an entire company with multiple employees. It was just myself. So I think that you definitely just need to have the mindset that there's gonna be some long hours involved, and you may learn a new thing or two. And it's really cool to get to learn about plumbing, because everybody has plumbing issues. And when you go to build a house or buy a house, it's really important that the plumbing's done right, because if not, you're gonna have leaks. And if your house is built on a slab, like a majority of homes now, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So just kind of being able to learn what to look for, I think, was really cool as well. And then this internship hasn't really solidified or changed my career focus. Again, like I said, it was really cool to get to learn some new things. And who knows, I may one day go and work for them. But overall, I'm really happy with where I'm at. Obviously, Chase is just kind of like a intermediary or a means to an end, and I'm really excited to get back to doing hair. So I don't really think it's influenced anything too much, but it was definitely nice to get to learn some new cool skills and understand what it's like to run a company with multiple employees, because who knows, one day I may own my own. Overall, my time at TNC was amazing. Like I said, getting to work next to my best friend was pretty awesome. Getting to learn all of the new trades and all of the new terminology and everything that goes into it was super awesome. I kind of wish our internship or our entrepreneurship class would have required us to do an internship with a startup, because I think everybody would benefit from it. Like I said, it's really cool to get to see all that goes into it, and kind of learning from your mistakes as you go is so important, I think, in any business, but especially in a startup. So it was very humbling to get to see that I struggled when I opened my own business, but it's not just me who struggled, because I was by myself trying to figure it out. They have like I said, a whole reference of professionals to lend on when they need help, and they still struggle sometimes. So it was really cool just to get to see how everything kind of fell into line and learn some new cool activities, even though I'll probably never use it again. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to do everything. So